A very good evening to Sir Alias. I am Lingesh. So today I am going to talk about the risk control for our assignment 2. So our case is about electrical hazard. So today I am going to talk about the risk control on how to control electrical hazard. So first and foremost, professional engineer execute calculation to examine the thermal incident energy found at every area to ensure type of personal protective equipment, which is PPE, that should be worn when approaching every boundary is called as arc flash risk assessment, if not arc flash hazard analysis. Furthermore, the NEC and NFPA 70E need labeling of equipment and tools to notify any possible arc flash hazards. Every panel must be certified as an ANSI approved arc flash hazard warning label to alert together with direct employee on voltage, arc flash hazards, arc flash boundary along with the needs of PPE for safety. Besides, electrical safety training compliance and arc flash hazard is depending on the specifications by NFPA 70E standards, as well as OSHA for employee safety protection. Furthermore, arc flash training educates on component of arc flash hazards, which are methods on identifying the hazards, read the arc flash hazard labels, avoid catastrophe along with the protection, and ways of handling the personal protective equipment, which is PPE. Moreover, to reduce the electrical hazard, the voltage in engineering area must be reduced. Frequently convenient hardware is accessible that's powered from a 110 supply through a straightforward transformer, and these are frequently middle taped to soil so that the most extreme voltage between a live conductor and soil, which is the foremost common cause of electric stunts from gear, is restricted to 55 volt. Furthermore, provide one or more residual current device, which is RCD, in electrical equipment. If equipment operating at 230 volts or higher is employed, an RCD residential current device can provide additional safety. RCDs are supplementary protection devices which don't prevent any electrical shock but are ready to limit the duration of some shocks by enabling the rapid disconnection of the electricity supply when an electrical shock takes place. Finally, carry out preventative maintenance for all electrical equipment and installations should be maintained to prevent danger. This should include an appropriate system of visual inspection and, where necessary, testing. So for the conclusion, the workplace health and safety are about encouraging positive wellness in terms of people's comfort, pleasure, and contentment rather than simply preventing illness and accidents, and it places several serious responsibilities on employers. The primary purpose of workplace safety and health programs is to prevent workplace injuries, illness, and deaths, as well as the pain and financial hardship that these events can create for workers, their families, and employees. A solid health and safety record gives a competitive edge since it develops trust in the brand and reputation, whereas poor health and safety performance has a direct impact on profitability and can lead to lost business or even closure. So workplace health and safety ensures long-term advantages for them, their company, and the community. Thank you. That's all from me.